As we move into the final home stretch of the season, there's really two key points that we have to take a look at as we wrap up the season. And the first sub point is simply this. So we have to look at the wild card stretch. Okay, so as a sub point to the whole wild card stretch, right? It's been a roller coaster of a season, really, right? Between the first half of the season being in first place by a handful of games, and then coming back from the All-Star break halfway through the season and essentially kind of losing that stretch a little bit, right? We kind of had about a 2 or 3 week losing stretch where we just lost game after game after game after game, and then we bounced back, right? Tampa claims first spot. They kept the first place spot, and then the Yankees, the Red Sox, and kind of Toronto we're all competing for essentially the second place, third place scenario. And let's be honest, the Yankees and in classic Yankees form lost the second place spot, right? And so the Yankees obviously stink, and therefore gave the ultimate team, which is the Red Sox, not only second place, but a great lead in the whole wild card scenario, where we're now a game and a half into the wild card zone, which is a great zone to be in. So now, as another sub point to go off the whole wild card run, is the whole question of, A, will we hold on to it? Which at this point, it's looking pretty good because we're starting off with the Mets on a 3-game homestand. So that should be somewhat simple enough as long as our pitching staff and our offense can do somewhat okay. And B, who will we play? You see, I have a friend of mine who's a big Oakland Athletics fan, and so it'd kind of be neat to see if the A's can make the wild card break and then have a Red Sox and Oakland A's game, okay? We have our staff against the A's staff. A classic kind of Boston Billy Bean scenario, okay? So that'd be actually really incredible. And so that's the big question. Who will we play, and will we be enough competition to not only play them, but remain in competition throughout the whole playoffs? And so that's a big question. That's a big talking point, too. So we could actually go on and on and on about it. And that's a great discussion to continue to have and further expand upon as we move forward in the hopefully pretty positive direction, okay? We're really starting to heat up. We're really starting to look good. So we've got to keep going. We got to ride this winning train because, let's face it, this winning train is a great train to be on. And so the second main point for talking about, at least for the time being, at least in this particular moment, is in fact Garrett Whitlock. Garrett Whitlock is one of our relief pitchers, and he's actually been doing pretty good, and he's been a great part of our staff. And he just got injured due to some tightness within his pectoral area. And according to Alex Cora, he's not going to be out for a long period of time, but he will be out for about a week or so. And a week at this point in the season is in fact a big deal. It is actually kind of a big deal, yeah, in a sense that we need as much help as we can get from as many top talent players as we can. And so we got to make sure we get him healed, get him all trained up, and we got to make sure he's physically ready to go come the end of the season and as we head into the wild card spot. Because as we all know in Boston, baseball hits different in the fall playoff baseball scenario. So without further ado, let's start shipping up to Boston and start winning some playoff games, because it's going to be a ride to remember.